Welcome back to a new episode of the AJ Show. You're going to want to stay hydrated for this one. Well, not the episode itself, but if you're one of the many people out there that is currently playing The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, you're going to want to stay hydrated. Take frequent breaks. Make sure you eat, sleep, pay your bills, go to work, be responsible, and then go play the game. All right? So, with that being said, I'm going to give you my first thoughts, impressions after a week of playing it. Let's dive right into this episode. As always, get yourself a beverage out, just sit back, relax, and let's talk about Tears of the Kingdom. The wait is over. Everybody that has played Legend of Zelda games, has been a fan, like myself, we finally got it. It's finally here. A week ago, Friday of last week, May 12th, showed up at my house in the afternoon. Didn't get to play it till Friday evening, because work and everything, you know. As I mentioned, we're responsible. Okay? Play this when you can. Okay? Don't marathon it. Don't be crazy. Alright? Don't let it just suck you in, because it can. This game, like Breath of the Wild, can just suck you in. And you just gotta know when to stop. You do. You have to know when to stop, because you may see something in the distance and you're like clocking in probably about 2 hours or so, and you're like, I need to find a good stopping point. And oh, look at the time. I need to go eat. All right. You got to find a good stopping point in these sessions. And it's because of the excitement of Tears of the Kingdom, that just trying to unfold the story, tell the story of what's going on after the events of Breath of the Wild. And I'm not really going to tell about the story, because everybody's still playing it. We don't need to spoil anything. I'm not here to spoil it, because let's just be real. You know where I'm at right now with the game? I'll tell you where I'm at with it. Let's start from the beginning, because at the beginning of it, you know, I popped it in on May 12th, Friday evening. Started playing the beginning areas of it, getting the whole gist of it. Everybody by now has probably seen the intro points of the game, of what happened. Okay, Ganondorf is resurrected from the dead. Witnessed it right before my very eyes. Malice just infesting Link's right arm. Breaks the Master Sword. Zelda's falling into a pit. Link's jumping after her. And then Zelda disappears. Like, she just transports out, and Link just falls, and everything's black. Link wakes up with longer hair, so time has passed. Not sure how much time has passed since that took place. Probably not very long. But he's been asleep. He's got a new arm. Okay, he's got a new arm going on. And it is from a first king of Hyrule, Rauru. Yeah, try saying that. Rauru. Yeah. Rauru has been first appearance, to my knowledge, Ocarina of Time. He was human, though. This version is Zonai. Now we got a whole new Zonai species of race, which there's been mentions of Zonai race in Breath of the Wild. Very little's mentioned about them, but they're there. There's the presence of the Zonai race. And this game introduces the Zonai heavily. And so Link wakes up in the Sky Islands, where there's a new Temple of Time up there. Again, it's a tutorial area like the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild, but you're in the sky this time. and you're hopping from island to island, unlocking 3 shrines, I believe, this time. Maybe I think there's a 4th, probably. I'm trying to remember. It's been a week. So Link gets these upgrades to his arm, where he's able to unlock the Temple of Time. You're experimenting. You're learning how to use the new abilities, and fuse the it's like the most common one we use, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. But the thing with the hand, be able to maneuver parts, is going to come to me eventually, and just glue things together and build contraptions. Yeah, you can craft, you can build, you can fuse weapons, try different things. It's experimental. It's amazing. It's like endless possibilities to Tears of the Kingdom. You could create so many different options and mechanics on how to navigate areas and how to do things. And I tell you what, the Korok sections are back in this one as well. And I'm having a blast with the Korok hunting this time. And I'm not really intentionally Korok hunting, because you still have your common ones where you lift up a rock and they just poof appear and give you a piece of their golden turd, or sorry, Korok seed. I still believe it was poop. They're giving you poop. Let's just be real. And you exchange those pieces of poo with Hestu, which is a giant bloated looking Korok with maracas, and he has a brand new dance in this game. A brand new dance. It is epic. I love it. And so, yeah, you still got the upgrading of your weapon abilities. You know, you still got inventory expansions, what I'm trying to say, but you can upgrade your weapons. You can fuse things together. You can create machines and different ways to getting across, solving puzzles. Ascend is amazing. Ascend is the one I forget about the most in the Link's ability, because man, there is one shrine. I will tell you what, there is one shrine where you absolutely just had to use Ascend for everything that I came across, and I just like, man, I'm stumped. I don't know how to. It's like I'm in the beginning, and I'm like, I can't figure this out. I walk out, and then stupid me remembered, of course, Ascend. So I went back into the shrine and tried the Ascend ability, and I went back and I went up. Now we're getting somewhere. It is a game that's making you think so much. It's a lot of puzzle solving and combat. Oh, combat. Let me tell you about combat. Not the Atari game, but combat in this game of Tears of the Kingdom. It is the same, all right? Link's movements did not change, all right? Link still jumps, runs, stamina wheel, all that good stuff, swinging the sword, parry attack, you throwing weapons. Now you can throw items, which is pretty cool. It took me a minute to figure that one out, because I'm reading about it. I'm like, how do you do it? And I'm like going through the menu. One of the menu options, there's like how to do things, and I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, there's a lot packed into this game. I know I'm jumping all over the place with this thing, but I'm just kind of just giving you my thoughts, off the cuff thoughts on Tears of the Kingdom. All right. But yeah, it's his movements and everything is the same. The control is the same, with maybe some minor differences here and there. But, the new abilities, I'm used to the runes on the D-pad. I believe it was on the D-pad. Now I have to use a whole new button. It's hard. I'm just still used to, from the runes to the new hand abilities that Link has. It's hard to break the habit. And I do miss the runes. I really do. And because, man, having those bombs, oh man, I could really use those bombs. But the rocks are breakable whenever you fuse a stick to a boulder, and you can break rocks with it. Just digging through. It's incredible. But, bombs are always a good thing to use. They have bomb flowers returning from, I believe bomb flowers were in Skyward Sword, if I remember. Oh, in Ocarina of Time, actually. There's bomb flowers in there too. So yeah, dates back away to Ocarina of Time there. But you can use bomb flowers that you find, and I don't know who's planting bombs that are flowers. That's weird, but this is Hyrule, y'all. This is Hyrule. All right, do your thing. And so, but you can use those. But man, I don't know how many times when I'm in the caves, when I discover a cave and there's bomb flowers there, and I'm trying to break rocks or fight enemies, I don't know how many times I killed myself by hitting a bomb. All right, I've done that so many times. I don't know about anybody else out there, but I've hit the bomb so many times. If I'm battling next to a bomb flower and I actually hit it and I explode, it's game over. And I'm like, great, I got to do this all over again. So it's stuff like that there's those irritating moments. I've died a lot. I don't know how many times I died in Tears of the Kingdom, but I think I've died more times than I did in Breath of the Wild. That's for darn sure. I mean, when I first played Breath of the Wild, yeah, I was getting killed left and right. You know, getting gored by a goat off the mountain, all right? Hadn't had that yet, thank God. But man, I have been basically just destroying myself, all right? Or enemies attack patterns have changed. I mean, the Moblins and Lizalfos and all of those gangs are back, but they're hitting harder and they're doing different attacks. One of them's trying to gore you, all right? And one of them's got armor on. What's going on with Tears of the Kingdom, all right? Then you get some newer enemies. Oh, when you go into the caves and you come across these monkeys hanging around, man, they can hit. They can hit. And then you got these flying, I can't remember what they're called. I don't remember. I say one of the Kakaroks from Twilight Princess, all right? But that's not what they are. But it's just one hit shot. Nothing to worry about. Gleeok. Can we talk about Gleeok for a minute? No. You run, you get out of there, you don't mess with Gleeok, all right? You don't, all right? Early on in the game, you don't mess with Gleeok, all right? He's going to kill you, especially when he's breathing fire, and he's hot, and your temperature's going to rise, and your heart's going to start depleting, and you're going to die, all right? Gleeok, you suck, all right? Let's just say you suck, all right? But it's great to see new enemies in this game. Likes are back. They are hanging out in the caves. And they're a pain. They are. So, like I said, all these enemies, there's new enemies, there's old enemies, returning enemies. It's nice. I love it. The Ritos are back. I have completed the Wind Temple at this point in playthrough. I have Tulin. I have access to him now, the Wind Sage now. He's a kid, Rito warrior, all right? And he's a sage. Cool, awesome, great. But the Wind Temple, let me tell you about the Wind Temple. Getting to the Wind Temple, yeah, this is off the cuff, there's no script for this one. Getting to the Wind Temple was a little bit of a chore because you're going up you're in the Sky Island section is where you're at. You're going from the ground, rising up to the Sky Islands, and then you get to the Storm Cloud, which there's an endless blizzard going on in the Rito village. And harkens back to Majora's Mask with the Gorons with this one. Seeing this endless winter, everything's buried in a Rito village in snow. And I'm like, man, this got Majora's Mask vibes right here, you know. And, you know, when you complete that dungeon in Majora's Mask, all the snow melts. Same scenario with the Rito village. All the snow melts. And the Hebra mountain area is still covered in snow. That's okay, because it's a snowy area. But the Rito village is no longer under snow. It's great whenever you get through the Wind Temple area. So with your map, there are 3 maps. You have your Sky World, you have your Surface World, and you have the Underground World. Which the Underground World is dark, and there's very little light, which will use the light fruits to help brighten pathways to eventually get to certain checkpoint areas where you have fast travel, and it'll just brighten that section to be able to see the rest of it. But it spans all across Hyrule. All across the Hyrule. It's the subterranean areas, and there's treasures. There's the Yiga clan hanging out down there too. The monsters down there are full of malice, You got pools of malice everywhere. And the way you get to the underground areas is that there's entry points that you'll see throughout Hyrule where there's malice spewing out of holes in the ground. And when you drop into there, that's how you get down there. And so it's a rough time down there. It is, because there's something new with the malice this time. And whenever you stay in it too long or get hit by enemies with malice, your hearts get grayed out to where you can't refill that. But there's special cooking abilities that you can use to help with that. So there's a lot of newer stuff. Cooking is back, and you'll be cooking a lot of food, for sure. But they also log recipes for you. That way you can go check it out and see, oh, okay. So there's a lot of logging going on in this game too. So, I mean, you got your Sky Islands, you got your surface world, your typical Breath of the Wild areas, you know, but there's like new structures, there's, you know, fallen pieces of Sky Island coming down at you, you know. You'll have these new robots down there from the Sky Islands, these Zonai robots. And the cool thing about the Sky Island robots is, or the Zonai robots, I should say, is they'll fight the other enemies for you, but they will also fight you too. So they just want to fight everybody. That's it. They just want to fight everybody. All right, that's what they're doing. They're trying to protect their stuff. Is what it is. They're basically protecting the land of theirs. Which, I mean, if you're falling on the Hyrule area, they're surrounded by some of the Zonai structures that fell from the sky, and so they're hanging out there, protecting their stuff. All right, that's what they do. They're protecting their stuff. So currently, gameplay wise, I'm gonna wrap this up here. All right, I've been to Bantha area. I've been to the Rito Village. I've cleared the Wind Temple. I've been to Hebra area. I've been to Central Hyrule's where you typically start at with this one. You got Lookout Tower, which is your main central hub area that you start at. Paragliders around there. Don't miss the paraglider. I've heard a lot of people miss the paraglider. I didn't. You can go to Hyrule Castle. You can go to Castletown. You know, which it's in ruins still, but of course Hyrule Castle's floating right now in the air. But right now I'm in Hateno Village. On my way to the tech lab because I need to get something with my, it's a Purapad now, not the Sheikah Slate. Purapad, I can't pronounce it. Purapad is what it's called. It has different sounds. There's newer stuff in there. It takes pictures still. You know, I don't have your runes anymore, but it's a cool device that Link uses. It looks just like a Nintendo Switch. Let's just be real. Handheld version. That's what it is. It's a Nintendo Switch. Link is carrying a Nintendo Switch in his pocket. That's what it is. Electronic devices, y'all. That's what it is. It's amazing to see all the different types of technology that's existing in this medieval world. You know, it's awesome. I love it. So the journey continues. There's been tons of exploration, tons of experiments, tons of deaths. Died a lot. Enemies hit hard. I've came across a Phantom Ganon. I ran from that fight. I sure did. Gleox, I ran from him too. Not ready for it. But eventually, we're going to figure out how to take him out. So, with that being said, continue enjoying the journey of Tears of the Kingdom. I will be as well. And I may revisit this later on down the road. I don't know if I'm going to give it a full review, you know, like I did with Breath of the Wild last year. Because, again, there is so much in this game. It is packed. I mean, it's packed. It's daunting packed. So many side quests. So much stuff into this. You know, when I beat Breath of the Wild, it was like I clocked in about 40 to 50 hours. This is probably going to give me a run for my money. So, happy gaming, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Take care.